Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with day 9 of Follow a Sketch February, a hop started by Sandy, which is Scrapping Reflections, or here on YouTube you can find her at State Goddess. Today's sketch is by, I believe it says Noella, and I'm turning it to the side because my pictures are horizontal and not vertical. I'm going to use the Vicki Boutin, one of her, I guess maybe more recent collections, but it's really kind of like a hodgepodge of all of her previous collections. So I have my paper pad, some random Vicki Boutin embellishments, my pictures, and this sketch. So let's see how this goes. So I do end up pulling in a couple things that I did not share, mostly thickers that I have for embellishments because I needed something to build my cluster in the bottom right corner. So, of course, on the sketch, it's the bottom left corner, but because I've turned it, it's going to be in the right. Now, I love this paper. And the reason that I picked it specifically, not just because I love it, is because I really want to use this embellishment that I pulled from my Vicki Boutin leftovers stash, which is things that have come from collections I've finished or random embellishment packs that I have that I didn't have the original collection for. So, and it's to celebrate today, and the word today is in like this neon limey yellow, and that's in here. And then the outside of that is like that maroony pink color. So I wanted to try and incorporate that since I'm documenting my daughter's birthday. So I pull the paper that's got this bright yellow wordy bits because it's got journal space on the back of it. So I use this strip. Now, because it's words, I have to be really careful to make sure that I'm cutting my paper to where that strip that's going from top to bottom has the words written, where it's legible and you don't have to turn your head. Not that I'm planning on people reading the words on the paper, but I typically don't want words sideways like that, which is why, because I've turned it, I'm going to move my title because I don't want it going up and down on the left side. So I'm kind of I'm pulling mostly the layers and the picture placement from this and then the cluster placement, because other than that, everything is a little bit different than the sketch. But it's just because I'm not using as many layers as they have on the sketch because I don't want to cover that background, and I think it's plenty. Like, I really like the way that it works out in the end and how it ends up looking. So I want to use this little ticket that says you and me because it is very important. Every year on my daughter's birthday, she was born at 12:16 in the morning after Christmas. So I went into labor at Christmas dinner. And so every year since she was 5, I have let her stay up till 12:16, even after the exhaustion of Christmas Day. And we have always been together at that moment. Now, there have been times when she literally has walked into my house at midnight and hung out for half an hour and then left. There's times when we've been together all day, of course, for Christmas, and then stayed up and, watched movies or whatever until after 12:16 and passed out at 12:18. I mean, honestly, it's been a variation, but we are always together at 12:16 on the 26th of December. And so I would love to say that that hopefully will never change, but obviously she's growing up and life changes and things happen and you never know. But as of right now, for 13 years in a row, nope, 18 years in a row, let me get my math straight. For 18 years in a row, we have spent that moment together. So I am building my cluster down here. I pulled this little feather that came from Sweet Rush, but it's got some of the very same colors because Vicki Boutin's really good about using very similar and very colors that work really well together, whether it's exactly the same or not. And I love that. And I couldn't get this peacock feather used on a layout. I was really looking for something to build with, and I needed some flat things because the chipboard pieces that I pulled off of some of my thicker sets, like this camera down here and a couple of florals, weren't going to work if I don't have something flat to go under them for the layering and cluster effect. So I put like this little motor scooter and this cute little flower. Those came from a pink, now I can't remember what it was, but anyway, they're all American Crafts because they all came from Joann Fabrics. So I put those down there, and then, oh, pink paisley maybe? Anyway, y'all, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I have this little flower that I put up at the top, and it is the same pink as the little heart that's down at the bottom. So then on the sketches, you can see in that cluster, there's like a little ring, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for that. I pulled out some of my black bling, and I used one of the circles that I use to cut smaller circle like pictures, because I don't trust myself to put them in the Cricut to cut them, and if they're under 4 inches, I can't cut them with my little circle trimmer. So I usually hold these little circles up, and that's how I cut pictures in circles. And so I just laid that down and put the little dots of glue around it, and then place these little bling from Jolie's down and make this little circle that looks like it's going to go in to like the cluster and behind the picture. And I love the way that that turned out. The pictures were already matted in black, so I knew there was already going to be some of that, and I love the way the black looks with this bright colors. And then she has some little X stamps on her sketch, so I decided I would go ahead and finish off with some of those in 3 different places as well, using Black Soot by Tim Holtz. And then that's it. I do journal a lot at the bottom, telling the story about how every year on 12/26 at 12/16 meant that Katie and I are always together, and how important that time is for us. Put the date up here on this little tag above the top picture. This year her boyfriend was here as well. Was with me in my apartment. And so the baby was already in bed. So he didn't make it to the picture. He was asleep somewhere, or well, in his bed. So anyway, that is it. So I hope you'll go check out everybody who's hopping along with Follow Sketch February. I'm hoping to be here every day this month. So far, so good. And it's the 9th, so that's pretty darn good. I would love it if you give me a thumbs up if you like this video and or my layout. I would love it if you'd subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for hanging out with me today and crafting with me. I hope you'll come back, and I hope you have a great day. Hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love, and happy scrapping.